I hope all is well. This is Chris with That Square Sports Podcast, and we're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers draft grades. And actually, believe it or not, the last Pittsburgh video I put up, you guys came at my neck. I actually think that this is a good draft. Let's talk about it, shall we? First things first, they gave you guys an A. Here's my rubric, and here's what I think you need versus what you actually went out and got in the draft. First thing, of course, obviously, I thought that you needed a collective offensive line unit. Yes, I did believe that. I also think that you needed a receiver, and I also believe that you needed another defensive back or edge rusher. I kind of was in the middle of both, so I was okay with either or. So let's break it down one more time. Like I said, offensive line, edge rusher, defensive back, and receiver. That's what I felt that you guys needed. I accepted the fact that, yes, you have two quarterbacks. You have more than enough, surprisingly. So what did you guys do in the first round? Let's check it out. Troy Fautanu out of the University of Washington, offensive tackle. Probably one of the best offensive tackles in this draft. I wasn't mad at this pick at all. Actually, in fact, I actually like the pick more for you guys. So that way, of course, Warren and, of course, your boy Najee Harris could both run the ball very effectively in this offense. Now, here's where it gets fun for me. Your second pick, Zach Frazier. Dude, I'm not going to lie to you. If I could cuss on YouTube, but I have so many subscribers now, finally. Well, 1,000, not a lot. But what I'm saying is, dude, this dude right here is electrifying out of West Virginia. I honestly believe that he was the best center behind Christian Hayes in this entire draft. That's just me. But watching him play at West Virginia, he literally knew how to pick up every single blitz. He knew how to create every single running lane. And I said, that is Pittsburgh football at its finest. And where else could you get him from is West Virginia, right over to the state next to you guys, right there, bottom of the south of you guys, right then and there. And I said, that improves your offensive line. Straight up, you got your left tackle probably for the next 5 to 6 years, and then you got your offensive center, who probably is going to be effective maybe for the next 5 to 6 years as well. You've got two cornerstone pieces to your offensive line. I ain't even mad at y'all, Pittsburgh. I'm actually happy that you guys did this because, I mean, your division is the toughest, and you will need a great offensive line to do anything in that division alone before you even come out of the division. All right, let's go ahead and get back on focus. Then you get up Roman Wilson, who's probably one of the better route runners in this draft. Not an exceptional receiver, like, lights out, kill you with speed and all that. But he is good at blocking. I will give you that. And on top of that, he knows how to just pretty much get open. He's a possession receiver. And in this game, obviously, we all know that in the NFL, it's going more to a friendlier offensive league than it is defensive league. So I kind of can understand why you picked him, because he's also got that stature where he's kind of not skinny, like he's that slippery. He gets out of tackles. He's very slippery to get away from defenders. Like I said, once again, not very fast, not an explosive receiver, but really good yards after catch. He got that good yak. You know what I mean? Really good yak. And he's a great route runner. He is a great compliment to George Pickens. I do believe that. So I will say that is a good, fair pick right there. Now, another still in this draft that I really love a lot, and I was surprised that he even fell this far in the third round, Peyton Wilson out of North Carolina State. Now, to me, it was Adrian Cooper who was the best linebacker in the entire draft, who could do it all. And I honestly believe Peyton Wilson probably could have been the better one if he didn't have the injuries. I love this pair with him and J.J. Watt. It is from giving me days of the Lawrence Timmons and James Ferrier, Larry Foote type defense that you guys used to have back in 2006, 2005, and 7 and 8, so on and so forth. This is the Steelers team that was like really home in on those linebackers, and in case they have, of course, the defensive tackle. This is kind of giving me that remnants of what Mike Tomlin is building again down there in Pittsburgh. Obviously, J.J. Watt is the cornerstone of this defense. Fitzpatrick is the backbone of the defense. I love where this is going, adding Peyton Wilson there, sideline to sideline. He don't take no BS. He can play both ways. He can also put his hand in there if need to. Fits the description. I think this is a win-win for both of y'all. For both people as a coach and also as a system. So I think it works well for you guys. All right. Mason McCormick out of South Dakota State, offensive line. Another good piece right here. I'm not going to lie to you. This guy can also play center if need be, and he can play guard. I think you're getting a second-round talent in this later fourth round, to be honest with you. I think because he just went to a smaller school. Nobody knows him, and that's okay because small school guys can ball. Have you not noticed before Utah was a juggernaut? You know who came out of Utah? Steve Smith. And I'm just saying right there to say this, there's some good offensive linemen at South Dakota State. Pretty much, any FBS 2 school, when they have like those type of guys that are there, it's usually because of the grades or pretty much just got some really good UNI deal. What is it? NIL deals? Yeah, NIL deals. Like, image, something. I don't know. Y'all put that in the comments what it means. I forgot what it is. Name, like, image, something like that. But that's beside the point. The boy can play. The man can play. He's a grown man, sits people down, pancake, IHOP International, House of Pancakes. That's what he does at offensive guard. Now, these are the 2 questionable picks. I am going to say Logan Lee and Ryan Watts out of Texas and Iowa. Logan Lee, really more of, what's the nicest way to say this? He gets lost in a few things, and I understand the depth here for these 2 picks back to back, especially not too far apart. I think that I see what Pittsburgh is doing here. They're really trying to rebuild that defensive line, and I'm not against it. They did get Lean last year out of University of Texas A&M, who I think is a good fit. I think that he's probably not going to develop the way they want him to. Maybe that's why they're getting more pieces around him, around that defensive line. I'm not against the idea. I always believe that you can never have enough offensive linemen and never enough defensive linemen. I honestly believe trenches are the key. But I will say this, these 2 guys, they're not bad. I think that if you wanted a defensive back, a defensive end. Excuse me, I just read that wrong. If you wanted a defensive end, I believe you should have took him sooner. But then the question comes up, would Mason McCormick still be there? Would Peyton Wilson still be there? And I understand that. So I see what you guys did there. Now, I'm actually wrong a little bit on this defensive back. I had to edit this video for Texas. Ryan Watts, defensive back. He is not an edge rusher. That's right, because he played D-back. And I also still feel the same way about him as well, being drafted in this. If you want to see how bad he was in coverage, Jalen Polk versus him, and then, of course, McMillan against him, Washington had a field day. So we'll just leave it at that. Rome Odunze didn't even get a chance to tap that, so he missed out on that. But I understand. I can see him being paired up with other corners as well on that team to kind of be that fourth or third option, maybe at best a 2 in the NFL. I don't see the pan there, but I'm not against it. All players can rise out of the ashes and become the Phoenix. I just seen X-Men myself. But what I'm saying is, though, here is that I do not fall in. I'm not in love with this pick, but I understand the pick. So with that being said, did you guys do the rubric right? Let's see. Let's talk about it. I said that you needed offensive line. Checked all the boxes on that. Wide receiver, you checked the boxes on that. Defensive end, no. I said wide receiver, yes. Offensive tackle. Defensive back. Yep. So you guys actually did do it all that. And I am going to give you guys credit where credit is due. As a person on the outside looking in, this is a damn good draft. I have to agree. Give them an A. You guys at Philadelphia both got A's. The state of Pennsylvania is winning right now. Just Penn State has to do something. But other than that, you guys are all right. Let me know in the comments if you guys, before you attack me again, Pittsburgh fans, relax, take a deep breath. I actually am in your favor on this time. But if you disagree, holla at me in the comments. Peace.